From 2020 until now, we've seen the worst of the worst natural disasters and pandemics, ranging from deadly hurricanes and wildfires to massive earthquakes. It's as though the Earth is angry for some reason. Well, things may get worse because NASA has just raised an alarm that North America is about to witness the worst disaster ever in 300 years. What sort of disaster are they talking about? And how did they arrive at this conclusion? Also, what are the chances of survival in the incoming disaster? Join us in this video as we discuss how NASA just announced that North America's worst disaster in 300 years is about to happen in 2023. According to data from the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, climate-related disasters have surged significantly over the past 20 years. In just the 10-year gap between 1980 and 1999, over 3,000 climate-related events occurred, and between 2000 and 2019, over 6,000 such disasters were recorded. The year 2020 seemed to mark a climax because even while the whole world fought the coronavirus, terrible events were still happening in our weather and climate. Some catastrophic events recorded that year include the volcano eruption in the Philippines, the earthquake in Turkey, the flash floods in Indonesia, Hurricane Laura in the U.S., and Hurricane Eta in Central America. These events claimed hundreds of lives. However, some of the most terrible disasters in the history of humanity are still those that occurred centuries ago, like the Huanghe flooding of China in 1931. This event led to the death of millions of Chinese with incalculable damage. The severe destruction and chaos couldn't allow officials to determine the actual death toll, but the estimate is 4 million people. Similar disasters have occurred in recent years. Even in 2022, for instance, Afghanistan, India, Nigeria, and Brazil floods claimed hundreds of lives. The Indonesian and Afghanistan earthquakes claimed thousands of lives. In Nigeria, the floods displaced millions. Given these facts, it seems the Earth is following a pattern, and it begs the question, why are these events occurring more rapidly now? Are there any scientific explanations for these? Well, yes, there are. You see, our Earth is changing and changing fast. It's not just global warming or ozone layer depletion we have to worry about. So many other changes are happening to our planet, and these changes will surely affect our weather and climate. A significant aspect of the Earth that's been depreciating is its magnetic field. As you may know, the magnetic field is a vital property of our planet. Without it, some serious flares from our sun would get into our atmosphere and cause damage to humans, plants, and animals. But scientists have discovered that this magnetic field has weakened over the years. In fact, Professor Nicholas Tovey of the European Center for Teaching and Environmental Geosciences deduced that the Earth's magnetic field has decreased by at least 30% in the past 3,000 years. And this is due to several processes going on in the Earth's core. It is expected that the Earth's magnetic field will reach a critical low very soon, probably within the next 100 years. But one area of the Earth's magnetic field has always been of concern to researchers, and it is this area that also puts the Earth at risk. This area is called the South Atlantic Anomaly. The South Atlantic Anomaly is where the Earth's radiation belt dips down to a very low altitude, coming very close to the Earth's surface. This anomaly creates a weak spot in the Earth's magnetic field and could be quite consequential to us, especially South America. Over the past few years, scientific observations have revealed that this spot has further weakened by 6%. The consequences of this will be massive solar flares penetrating the Earth's atmosphere, followed by an outbreak of radiation-related diseases, destruction of our satellites, and epic northern lights in the region. But here's the thing. The anomaly's negative impacts may not happen this year. In fact, it may take a few more years before the impacts are felt on the surface. However, worse has even been predicted to happen this year, which according to NASA, will hit so hard, especially in the Northern American regions. This disaster will be the greatest North America has ever felt in 300 years, and it will come all because of another anomaly in the Earth, the San Andreas Fault. In case you're wondering how this anomaly poses a threat to the people of North America, it's pretty simple. Earthquakes. Over the years, we've had several devastating earthquakes, some of which we mentioned earlier in this video. But have you ever imagined what it would be if an earthquake of magnitude 10.0 were to hit a city? Surely no previous quake in Earth's history has reached this mark. The highest so far was a 9.0. But scientists have predicted that the San Andreas fault line may just bring about some doomsday tremors, and there's a chance it will happen this year. Now, I know an earthquake of magnitude 10.0 sounds like a fairy tale or an exaggeration, but if you study this part of the Earth closely with a scientific lens, you'd realize that it may not be an exaggeration after all. You see, the San Andreas Fault is a point in the Earth where the North American Plate and the Pacific Plate meet. Just so you know, the Earth's crust is divided into large tectonic plates or rock slabs that are constantly in motion. But one thing is certain, they meet at some point. And when two tectonic plates meet, it's never funny because the Earth there is very unpredictable. Disastrous tremors can emerge at any time. One of the most remarkable quakes in the Earth's history is the cataclysmic Lisbon earthquake of 1755. The terrible quake read 8.5 on the moment magnitude scale and claimed the lives of about 60,000 people and created a massive tsunami that swept across the Atlantic. It took quite a while for scientists to figure out why such a terrible quake occurred, even when the nature of the continental plate there doesn't quite fit for an earthquake of that magnitude. You see, while the Earth's rocky inner layer remains stable or motionless, the tectonic plates that make up the outer shell glide over it. The Earth's surface is divided into 8 minor and 7 major plates. The largest plates are the Eurasian, North American, and Antarctic plates. The average thickness of tectonic plates is 125 kilometers, though some plates can be as thick as 200 kilometers. These thicker plates are called continental plates, while thinner ones, which measure 50 to 100 kilometers, are called oceanic plates. Since the Earth is spherical, these plates are fractured into several curved sections. Although Portugal is located close to the boundary of the Eurasian and African plates, it still didn't warrant an 8.5 scale earthquake. Earthquakes of that magnitude only occur in areas where the oceanic plate sinks under the continental plate, thus leading to massive aftershocks. Portugal's oceanic and continental plates don't fit this description. They blend nicely. However, geologists detected a rupture in the Earth's crust between the oceanic and continental plates, which was why it happened. To understand things better, let's dive a bit into the structure and mechanics of this fault line. You see, the San Andreas Fault forms the tectonic boundary between the North American and Pacific plates. Experts describe the motion in this spot as a right lateral slip motion. Simply put, these two plates are slowly scrubbing past each other in a horizontal direction. There are 3 distinct segments of this fault, each bearing its unique characteristics. But most of all, the varying degree of slip rate makes this fault very unpredictable. Slip rate in this context refers to how fast or how slow one plate glides or moves past the other. Scientists deduce slip rates by observing and measuring the degree of offset of geological features across a fault. Usually, the slip rates for geologic faults lie in the range of a few centimeters per year. But sometimes these points in the Earth's crust can move at twice or thrice this speed, or may even slow down, and scientists don't really know why. The San Andreas is one of the well-known fault areas on the Earth with varying slip rates. Scientists believe this fault has been responsible for, or directly related to several of the earthquakes in North America. Several tremors occur in these regions, especially in California and Alaska, most of which go unnoticed to the rest of the world since they're just on small scales. Some of the more notable earthquakes linked to this fault are the 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake in Northern California, the 1857 Fort Tejon earthquake, and the 1906 Great San Francisco earthquake.